Oma arrived at Mama Neka's restaurant. She grew suspicious of what was happening to her husband and almost all the men in the village. She decided to find out Mama Neka's secret. She watched Mama Neka cook at her restaurant, taking note of all the ingredients used. Then she noticed something. Once upon a time, in a small seller's shop in the village, there was one woman who stood out from the rest, Mama Neka. Mama Neka was a formidable woman with a commanding presence. Her food store was always full of activities as the villagers flocked to her for a taste of her delicious dishes. Rumors had been circulating around the village for years about Mama Neka's ability to do her bidding, but one thing was for certain: every man who ate her food seemed to be put under some sort of spell, unable to resist the urge to come back for more. Mama Neka's food became a hot cake in kNEW, with men lining up for hours just to get a taste. They would fight over the food and even happily wash their plates after finishing a meal. It was as if they couldn't get enough of Mama Neka's cooking, and they would do anything to have another taste of her dishes. But it wasn't just single men who were drawn to Mama Neka's food. Married men couldn't seem to resist its attraction either. Many wives in kNEW began to suspect that their husbands were spending more time at Mama Neka's food store than at home, growing wary of the power that her food seemed to hold over their men. One fateful day, a curious wife, Oma, whose husband Hugo had become a regular customer at Mama Neka's food store, grew increasingly suspicious of what was going on. She decided to take matters into her own hands. She disguised herself as a customer and went to Mama Neka's food store, wanting to see for herself what was causing the allure. As she watched Mama Neka cook, she noticed that there was something strange about the water she used to prepare her dishes. The aroma of the dish puffed through the air, and Oma felt herself drawn in by its intoxicating scent. She understood why her husband had been so in love with Mama Neka's food. When she took her first bite, it was unlike anything she had ever tasted: rich, flavorful, and almost addictive in its deliciousness. Oma found herself finishing her plate, feeling the effects of Mama Neka's spell taking hold. But Oma was determined not to fall under Mama Neka's influence. She steeled herself against the temptation of going back and instead decided to confront Mama Neka about her magical food. When Oma approached Mama Neka, she was met with a smug smile. "I see you've tasted my food," Mama Neka said, her eyes gleaming with mischief. "Did you enjoy it?" Oma felt a surge of anger at Mama Neka's nonchalant attitude. "What kind of trickery is this?" she demanded. "What have you done to my husband and the other men in this village?" At first, Mama Neka tried to deny it, insisting that it was just a harmless ingredient that added flavor to her food. But Oma would not be swayed. She smashed the calabash from its hiding spot and held it up to the light. The liquid inside glowed with a mystical light, confirming the woman's suspicions. In that moment, Mama Neka, realizing that her secret had been uncovered, attempted to flee the village under the cover of darkness. But the villagers were not about to let her escape and brought her before the village elders for judgment. The men who had been under her influence for so long suddenly snapped out of it, their eyes clearing as if awakening from a dream. They looked around in confusion, wondering how they had been so easily enchanted by Mama Neka's food. Mama Neka finally admitted to using the strange water from the calabash to enchant her food. She controlled the hearts and minds of the men in the village because she was not yet married and envied all the women living happily with their husbands and children. So, she decided to use her food to bring division between families. Now that her secret had been exposed, the villagers could see her for who she truly was. The news of Mama Neka's deception spread through the village, and people were shocked and displeased, feeling betrayed by someone they had trusted for so long. The village elders were horrified by her deceitful ways and decreed that she would be banished from kNEW forever, never to return. As Mama Neka walked away from kNEW, peace returned to the people, and the community united once again. Her story served as a cautionary warning for generations to come about the power of greed and its consequences, and the importance of honesty and integrity. All evil practices can backfire, so we should learn to be content with what we have. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please leave your comments below. Like, share with your loved ones, and subscribe for more interesting stories. See you in the next one.